just about. You got to have a nice clean start here. Let's take a look from the back. We just are all the way in the back here. Let's see, there's 12 racers. And ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Let's go ahead and pull up the display details here. Everything starts out quite as is. There was a bit of a drop from Kosian. Not quite sure what happened there with his grid start. Going into the first turn, are we going to see any action here? Very, you know what? I'm very proud of these guys, keeping it as clean as possible. Into T1 on lap 1. It's not very common to see that, but as we're going into, we do see a little bit of some changes here as Boogs drops to 9th place and CBD loses his second spot to Moose, but takes it right back as we go into this next area. After this chicane, looks like there's a little bit of action in the back here between Kosian and Sun Devil. Sun Devil holding it down, but Kosian's able to take it to the outside. Moving up the field here, Skeletor pulling up on Boogs. Let's see if we can get a better turn in here. JJ taking a little bit too wide of a turn, and Skeletor catching up as JJ drops back a little bit, but Boogs is holding his line, trying to hold off JJ as they're going into the next turn. And JJ a little wide, but he's going to take the inside as they go into the straight. And JJ with a wonderful take there in front of Boogs to take 7th place. Great run there, JJ. What was going through your mind there?
Yeah, nice easy move. Boogs took a weird line through Michelin and then sort of left the door open and carried the momentum through that. But in saying that, he's had a better run out of Warsteiner to the NGK chicane, breaking at about the 50 forward into here.
When JJ's taking a second to focus on the chicane here, as this is quite a difficult chicane for Karts, or really any car, to be honest.
Goblin making a massive mistake through there. We've caught right back up to him.
Boogs trying to take it a little easier around there, but oh no!
Just hit it on the curb awkwardly.
Oh, very unfortunate. Unfortunately, Gaba got a little bit of that action, but he stayed in the race. Didn't lose what it looks like almost any momentum there. As unfortunately JJ drops to the very back. He's going to have to do some fighting, but we still have quite a bit of time left. We're only 2 minutes into this 20-minute race, so he's got 18 more minutes to catch up.
11 laps to go here.
Absolutely. Let's take a look up top. We have Uber up front. Extending his lead. He's got about 1.6 seconds in the lead here and extending it. Moose trying to catch him as he's coming through these next 2 turns. But Uber is just running away with it once again. Man is unstoppable. It must be that Barbie livery just sending him, giving him the woman power that he needs to win this race.
Let's not refer back to your earlier comment about the Women's World Cup then, Kiggs.
It was a wonderful World Cup. Everyone enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. There's some great goals. Great goals.
Great to be a part of, actually.
Yeah.
Going to quite a few of the games in the end.
Oh, yeah, wonderful. I didn't know that. I'll have to talk about that after, for sure. But it looks like the entire track just not able to quite keep up with Uber as he is in his zone. He's clearly ate his Wheaties today and drank a whole gallon of milk to get his bones and body ready for this event. In his first ever night run summer series. Moose hanging on the best he can. He's having a great race here in P2, but Box is not giving up. Closing on him really quickly. You can see how close they are here, side by side as they go into T1 in this 3rd lap. Let's see how this plays out. Box going way quick through there, but Moose is able to undercut him. But Box holds the inside as they go through the next turn. And it looks like, they're still quite side by side, unable to tell what's going to go on here. Is there going to be contact? Moose running really close to T-Box, but giving him a little bit of space here. Conservative turn there. And T-Box taking the inside again. Wow, really close racing here from these two. Oh, and Moose takes a little bit of hit from T-Box's rear. Didn't expect him to break so much, but it looks like they're coming in just fine. CBD finding that lack of speed between those two from that contact and slipping in right behind Moose, catching up to him really quickly. As coming to this next turn, we have T-Box taking it really well, as wide as possible. CBD's got his eyes on the prize. He wants that third place. He wants that P3 spot really bad early on in this race.
Yeah, good absolute scrap here for P2. Let's do what I do best, which is not drive karts on 5 hours of sleep. But anyway, we've got T-Box. He's currently got a 10th and a half over Moose coming up into the NGK chicane here. Let's see what Moose is going to do. Moose is going to look up the inside, get hard on the brakes here. That is a textbook overtake, but he's running a little bit deep there, and the T-Box is just going to say thank you very much and maintain that momentum around the outside up into towards Coca-Cola. CBD falling a little bit further back through that little segment, to say the least. And it's going to... Actually, CBD's got a very good run off the corner.
Very good run.
Has Moose sit in the slipstream here. This is going to go possibly 3 wide into Hulk Hucken.
And Goblin catching up right behind him. He's trying to use that slip between those two players to see if he can get himself some speed here coming into T1. This is going to be very...
To the right there.
Oh, wonderful racing.
Great momentum carried by T-Box around the outside of turn 1 into the Mercedes-Benz arena.
You love to see it. You love to see it. Oh, and Moose dropping back to 4th. CBD taking the position P3. But Moose is not going to give it up easy. He is running back for 3rd place. He's not happy about dropping both of those spots. And well, oh, he's...
T-Box with a massive moment through turn 4, and that's going to allow CBD up the inside into Kozan Weidung, and it's just got it stopped at CBD, but Moose there's going to ran a little bit wide, so Moose is going to come up through. This is a great scrap, and this while all this is happening, Goblin's caught right up to them, so this is a 4-way scrap for P2 here.
Unbelievable scenes here, boys. You don't quite see this too much in these lobbies, especially after a couple laps. These guys are neck and neck as they're coming in, finishing up this 4th lap, looking to get their 5th lap with 6 minutes under their belt. Oh, and Moose somehow goes off. I don't know what happened there, but lack of concentration, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a little moment trying to take a little bit of a curve through Advan, and it's just dragged him onto the grass. See another moment through the NGK chicane, and he's always going to have a bad approach here up onto Coca-Cola. But meanwhile, Goblin up into P3. He's actually taking advantage of all this chaos. But CBD with great momentum, maybe a little too much momentum there, and unfortunately gave a bit of a tank over to Goblin, so that's allowed moves back into 3rd. T-Box has said thank you very much though, and he's absolutely run away with it with a 2.5 second gap.
And Boogs slipping up in here too. It just passed CBD, slipped into 5th place. We're going to have quite a good run here if these boys can keep their pace and catch up to each other again. We're going to have a five-player split between P2 and P6.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can work together, because guess what? We've still got over half the race to go, and we're only got 4 laps in onto the 5th lap now, and we'll see if they can catch back up. It's only a 2.5 second gap, and as we can see, Moose getting his head down, getting a move on. He's already shrunk that gap a little bit, but T-Box with a little bit better momentum out of turn 4 before they come up into turn 5, heading up towards Michelin. But yeah, oh, look at that, Bugs. Look at that, 2 wide further back. We've got absolute scrap. Etam now getting up in this battle as well. So these guys have been scrapping so hard that everyone else is sort of caught up. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and work together a little bit, try and catch back up. As we say, the headlights are on.
You're going into this race
towards the end of the day. But yeah, Bugs currently running up in P5. He's got 3/10 back to Goblin, moves slightly further up the field. They are actually losing ground.
Oh, again, and there must be something going on there with Etam as well, doing the exact same thing that Moose did, running into the grass. Not quite sure what happened there. Both of them did, and he's having trouble catching it.
Somehow catches it.
Unbelievable.
Catches the auto drive, maybe.
He cannot be happy. He's got to be beside himself. Hopefully he can get his head in the right place again to finish out this race with a clean finish, because that's definitely going to be in his head for these next couple laps.
With the 1:36.6 fastest lap, currently 7.3 seconds ahead of the field, to say the least. Absolutely cruising, to be honest. T-Box, though, he's very much increased that gap over 3 seconds. So we might have a 4-way scrap for P4, but CBD's currently sitting started on the front row. Not sure what happened there with Bugs. He went a little bit wide through the arena, but yeah. CBD started on the front row. He'll be disappointed. He's dropped all the way back to P5 here. So it'll be interesting to see how he recovers. But watch out, because if he does get a move on here, he has to get a move on now, because guess what? He's about 5 or so seconds adrift of T-Box, who was trying to catch Uber, but Uber just pulling away bit by bit, to say the least.
And in a race where you thought that Uber would struggle a little bit, he's proven once again no struggle for him to take that.
Probably the most wild card of the races, but yeah, he's just absolutely got his head down, absolutely cruising. Head down, eyes forward, and he's just pulled away, and he's just taking this to these carts like a duck to water, and it's like he never bothered to... why were we even here? We should have just given him the trophy from the start. Anyway, T-Box, 8.1 seconds, 8.2 seconds actually, and increasing a drift of Uber, And Moose, he's actually pulled, actually no, that gap is shrunk back down a little bit. That was over 3.5 seconds at one point. Moose getting his head down, as well as CBD, who somehow managed to get out of that scrap with Goblin, Bugs. Bugs and Etam, though, going at it here in towards Halkaken. Let's go. Let's see what we got.
And just to refer...
Oh, look at that.
Go ahead.
He's going to the outside.
Ooh, T1, P... I always get a little bit nervous through these turns here, but these boys are showing their skill and their ability to keep a clean race line.
I think for the most part there hasn't been too many times where someone's driven into someone. I think the only one I can think of was CBD on Goblin, but I think that was redressed off the top of my head.
Yep. Now, in reference to the chat, Skeletor says rip points and race. He overcorrected, spun, and the game rest me with wheel turned. Engine damage, F my life, he says.
These things are very much, you got to drive it within the limit and then very much figure out how close you can get to that limit. CBD though on a personal best here, trying to get into that 36s, and he's also trying to get that P3 away from Moose. He's only 6/10 adrift here. Definitely put his head down. He was faster last time round. It looks like he's going faster even again.
A bit of a race here between Sun Devil and Kosian as well for 9th place. Kosian going into the straight, and Sun Devil getting a good run, closing that gap. Whoa, really quickly.
Yeah, we'll be taking advantage of the toe here down through Advan and towards the NGK chicane. But yeah, it's very much slipstream and momentum are the two key things in these karts. It's not necessarily all about the how much you brake, how much you accelerate. It's how much momentum you can carry through these corners and how much you're willing to dare to carry, because the second you carry too much, you get a little bit of a snap, to say the least. But yeah, CBD running, he's dropped a little bit further back from Moose. He had a little mistake towards the end of that lap. So Moose is getting a little bit further ahead, but Moose is now all over the back of T-Box for P2.
Unfortunate for Skeletor. Also, Skeletor asking what happened at times when fuel, when testing, it's not possible with Karts. That doesn't let you adjust the fuel consumption or tire wear. I attempted to make the changes many times for some reason. When I did the initial testing for these tracks, I had chosen the fuel and tire wear, and went down and chose Karts, and didn't realize it would turn those off in the process. And then if I didn't set it to Karts, then you can't choose Karts. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, we are going to have to run with a tire wear and fuel consumption off for this race.
Moose just lack of concentration. That was all on his own, and he's been reset. So he's dropped from 3rd down to 7th because don't know what that was. He's just gone and touched the grass, and then the second he touched the grass, he just kept going and going. I don't think I saw anything. He was definitely on his own. So yeah, that's going to allow CBD to have the better run, and he's all over the back of T-Box here for P2. In fact, seeing a new personal best last time by. T-Box a second a lap slower than what CBD's doing at the moment, so it could be very much trouble for for T-Box here as he tries to hold on to this P2, to say the least. Yeah, good look and see anything else on the track at the moment. Now, gaps are pretty consistent. Watch out for Moose as he tries to recover back into the top 5. Still got 6 laps, 6 minutes left of this one, so probably another...
Ooh, T-Box making a big mistake.
Yeah, and CBD is going to say thank you very much. He's sort of bit of a Moses effect this last lap or so, just being able to slide through from 4th back up into the podium positions. Now, can he get a move on, trying to chase down Uber? But Uber setting the fastest lap of the race last time by with a 36.5, to say the least. So man's found quite a bit of pace here.
Unbelievable time. Unbelievable time. 136.557.
Three-way scrap for P4 here. Goblin right over the back of Bugs here. Etam just sitting behind him as they run up towards the chicane. Looks like Goblin's going to take the outside line. Might be the brave one. Oh my god!
Oh my goodness, Goblin!
Commitment. Great driving.
Oh, but Etam sliding right through him.
3 wide.
Oh. Oh my goodness, what a good run by
Etam
Etam.
said, thank you very much. You can run too wide through a chicane. I'll come through. Then getting a little bit wheel-to-wheel baggy here, trying to figure out where the hell they want to go. And now all of a sudden they're 3 wide down towards Halkaken, down towards turn 1 here. Bugs at the inside line. Who's going to be the latest on the brakes? Goblin trying to cover off Bugs on that inside, unable to do it. There was very much a go-kart alongside him there, but Etam, as I said, momentum's your friend here, carrying the momentum around the outside, and that's going to allow him up into P4 though. But guess what? This fight's not over. As you see, Bugs very much closing back up on Etam here, but he's got a little bit of a Goblin to deal with as well. He's trying to gobble him up as they come down towards Kurzem Bindung, and oh, that's a bad run there from Etam. So Bugs is going to sneak up the inside, but Goblin maintaining better momentum on the
Goblin slipping a little bit too. Yeah, Goblin with a little bit too much pressure. Lost a little bit of his grip there, but Etam was able to slip back into 5th place as Bugs just extends his distance there going out of this turn to the straight. And we're going to see quite a bit of this throughout the next, looks like 4 minutes left in this race here. So
there we go, Goblin to the inside.
Yeah, great move by Goblin. It's going to be really interesting seeing coming into this chicane how they're going to hold it, because it's going to be Etam. Is he going to make the cut? No, Etam breaks early, goes for a conservative turn, and
Goblin
a much
goes for a move on Bugs unintentionally.
Almost
sends it over the curbs. And who was that? That was Moose absolutely sending it late on the brakes. I think might have touched the grass on the way in, and has dropped even further back from this battle for P4. But yeah, this is a great little scrap for P4 here. Gaps at the moment, Uber's still pulling away from CBD, who's managed to put a good gap back to T-Box, who's got a good gap back to this little battle here. You see Bugs holding the inside line. It's not necessarily the best place to be is on the inside, because as we've seen, there you go, Goblin proving it again, momentum on the outside. Etam as well carrying the momentum. They're back going 3 wide here through turn 2.
This race for 4th place is unbelievable.
They're all over the place at the moment. Oh, Etam, he'll absolutely rue the fact he has no momentum on that inside line through turn 4. You really want to widen that exit up as much as possible. Get on the throttle as early as you dare. And unfortunately, Etam getting caught out there, getting stuck on the outside of turn 3. And now it looks like Etam's going to have to scrap back up to P5, because Goblin's now going to have a chance to chase down Bugs here.
Oh, and Etam running too wide. Oh, he's pushing too hard. He hit a little bit of the sand there.
Yeah, picking up a little bit of gravel there on the outside line is Etam as they come up through Advan. But yeah, this is a great little scrap. Where is Goblin going to go? He's going to look to the outside again. And he's sent it around the outside. Bugs almost giving that to him. And oh, massive moment for Goblin. Bugs with another moment as well in the background.
Woo!
Etam as well, as people are sending it over the curbs on the chicane.
Watching
That's
Bugs.
a great move by Goblin. Around the outside into the chicane. Carry the momentum through the first bit.
I gotta give a quick shout out to Mello for his Iron Man livery. Quite the scenes there by Iron Man. You see some of the superheroes. We have Goku and Iron Man showing up to the event. So far, Iron Man getting the best of Goku. Kosian doing his best to catch up. He's got just about a minute left in this last. He's not going to be able to get the next lap.
Boys,
so
I think are just going to get on it to another lap. Moose might be the first one to finish, but yeah, this is going to be this great. I want this to go another lap, because guess what? This is a great scrap for P4 as they come out of Goblin, massive moment out of Curzon Bindung, and coming up towards Michelin now. Etam's going to take that inside line and carry the speed as well. Now he's got the inside. He's got a hit far enough ahead. He can move back to the racing line to carry the speed through Varsteiner. And that is a great little move. Yeah, these boys starting to scrap now. They realize that there's points on the line, and points mean prizes. Yeah, Uber starting his final lap here. Absolutely cruising. So we've got about 30 seconds remaining. Yeah, Moose will be the first one to take the checkered flag. But yeah, this has been a great scrap for 20 minutes. So at least Goblin up the inside now into Coca-Cola. Etam trying to run the momentum on the outside, and he hasn't got the run on Goblin. Goblin pretty much flat to the floor through Coca-Cola, and it's been a nice little run here. But Bugs is starting to pull away from these two. So that's very well could be the final spot for the top 5 that's on the line here rather than P4. Simply Goblin defending with the outside line, trying to maintain the momentum, but almost a little bit cautious there. Yeah, Moose taking the checkered flag, first one to do it. Yeah, Mello coming across the line as well to take P number 8. Koshin will come up to the line for P number 9. Skeletor's take P10, and it'll be Sun Devil to take P11. But meanwhile, this battle for P5 is still going on. But yeah, jeez. Etam's got the advantage at the moment as they come up into Michelin. Goblin going to take the inside here, and it carries it through pretty much. Oh, that's a textbook maneuver right there from Goblin. Drive through on the racing line, and then up the inside, and then put it right on the racing line where you know your opponent's going to be. He's got nothing he can do there. That's a textbook maneuver from Goblin as Etam comes up to make a move at the final point. But meanwhile, Uber, there you go. Oh, what's this?
We got more spinning.
20-second penalty for Uber for the showboating. So that means your win is going to go to...
I didn't mention a penalty this time, but I did mention not to do it, so a penalty would be given out. Last time I did not mention not to do it, so...
CBD would come over to take P2, T-Bots takes P3, Bugs P4, and Goblin's going to get the upper hand for P5, Etam P6, and that is your race run.
What an end to the race, man. That was some good racing between Goblin, Etam, and Bugs. There was a moment there with CBD and Bugs and Etam and T-Box, and man, there was a whole bunch going on there. My